Hi. So I know I try my very best to do a custom tutorial for everyone when their orders come in because I know it's overwhelming when you first get your order, not knowing you're like, okay, I've got this palette. What do I do with it? And I know it's overwhelming. So I try to make the custom videos for you when your makeup arrives. Unfortunately, life is busy. And so I don't always get to do that. So what I thought I would do is just create one video because it's all kind of the same how we're going to apply the basics, right? So we have different eyeshadow looks. We have different techniques that I like to do on contouring, different things like that. But for the basics, I thought it would be a really good idea just to create a video, have it for you to be able to watch. So when your order gets in, you don't have to wait a week or 2 weeks for me to make that custom video for you. You can go ahead and dive right in with your palette. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. So I've built a 12 palette for most of you when you've done your color match. When I've done your color match for you, I typically build a 12 palette because I like to give you all the options. So I'm just going to open this up and show you here how I have this built. So I'm going to, because of the mirror here, I'm going to hold it kind of sideways so I'm not blinding you with that mirror. So what I have here is a contour, a main highlight, brightening highlight, lip and cheek, and then bronzer and your illuminator here. And then on the second layer is where I like to keep my powders. So my eyeshadows, brush tile cleaner, my vanilla dust setting powder. So this is great if you like a matte finish. This is going to be what you're going to want to get. And then I do have a gloss in here just because a lip and cheek gloss, because I want to show you that one. It's kind of scary when I put that on people's color matches and they are like, whoa, that's really dark. I want to show you how beautiful that is on the skin. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be using my contour first, and I'm only going to be using 2 brushes. Now we have a lot of brushes, and I do have some videos of the different brushes, but these are the 2 most popular. So our 3D brush is the basic brush that you're going to want to start out with. For most people, this is going to give you a nice medium coverage, beautiful airbrush look. It has all of the brushes are double-ended, and then the detail brush. So if you don't have the detail brush and you're looking to get a second brush, this is going to be the one that I recommend. So the detail brush is great for doing your contour. It is, again, there's a whole brush class that I did on this, but it has a flat in here. This is great for getting in and doing your contour along your jawline, your cheekbones up here. And so I'm going to use both, okay? Just so you can see how to use them both. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, now I also will tell you really quick, if you have been a customer of mine for a while and you've seen me do this video 1,000 times, this is going to be boring for you because I'm going to go really slow and explain everything as I do it. So first thing first is contour. I always start with my contour because I don't want to forget it. Now there are different techniques to applying this. So you've probably seen where people can take their finger in here and they make these lines or dots. Those are different techniques. They're amazing. I love those techniques. But for me personally, and for starting out for new people, I think it is so important that you use a brush because yes, you can use those dots, those lines. However, I will tell you, it is a little bit trickier to blend in the beginning with that. So I'm going to just start you out with the brush and applying with the brush. I do have a video also of doing the lines and the dots. So if you want to see that, let me know, and I'm happy to share that with you as well. It's probably in my group somewhere, but I can definitely pin that to the top. All right, so I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to get in here and get some contour. It doesn't really take a lot. And I'm going to just take this darker color and I'm going to put it on the top of my forehead. Okay, so contour is different than bronzer. We do have bronzer as well. I probably won't show you bronzer in this video because I just want to stick with the basic 4 colors for this video. So we'll do other videos with the bronzer. But I'm just using that contour. I've done the top of my forehead. I'm going to come right here, like at the top of my ear. or just below my cheekbone here, and I'm gonna just put a line right here, like kind of a diagonal line of my contour color, okay? You don't wanna go down too far. You don't wanna come down too far because that's gonna actually not give you the look that you want to get. Putting these diagonal lines is helping kind of create this illusion of a facelift. This dark, where you see dark, is kind of pushing back. And then in a second, we're gonna put some bright colors, the highlight colors down the center of our face to help brighten everything up. So we are doing that there. And then I like to put a little contour on here, and I like to do along my jawline here. What we're doing is just creating a three-dimensional look with our face, because our faces aren't flat, right? They are not flat. So we're just creating some texture, some dimension. That's the word I'm looking for. We're creating some dimension. And so we're adding this shadow right along our jawline. It's kind of a natural looking shadow. So I want you to think here, and I do like to come back and connect these, by the way. So I want you to think of a C. So some people like to just do this C right here, okay? You can also connect here and do like a 3 if you wanted to. A lot of people like to do that. I typically don't, but you most certainly can. So you could just come around here and then back around and make a C. Now, I like to do nose contour, and we can do a whole different video and go into more detail on this, but I take that same detailed brush, tap into that, and I just like to put a little bit from this brow or eyebrow line here down. I do have bigger pores. This is a little trick if you have bigger pores like me. Put some on the end of your nose here, if that's where your bigger pores are at, and that helps conceal those bigger pores. So I'm just putting it, if you notice, I'm not going all the way down. I'm just right there, okay? There are other ways to contour your nose and other things I like to do with contour, but for this video, we're just gonna do the basics. You can also, if you don't have that detailed brush that I just showed, you can most certainly use your 3D brush. Use this big bunny tail end here and do the same thing with your contour right here. When you get to your nose, just use your fingernails or your fingers and squish it together, and you can do the same thing right along your nose. Okay, so now that we've done our contour, now we're gonna get into our highlights. These are both called highlights. I want you to think of this one on your color match. I call it your main highlight. That is gonna be the color that is closest to your skin tone, okay? So this will be the color that matches your skin tone the best. You can think of it like your traditional foundation. And then your brightening highlight is what I call it on your color match form. That is going to be more like your concealer. We're gonna brighten things up with that. So let's get into our brightening highlight first. So I'm gonna use this cone shape in of that 3D brush. We have the bunny tail here. We have a little cone shape. And I'm just going to tap into that lightly. I like to put a little bit right here on the inside corner of my eyes. All right. And then I'm going to draw this line up. Now, on your color match email from me, you see me drawing lines, colored lines on your faces, showing you brown for contour, yellow for this brightening highlight, and then orange for the main. Now, on your email, you notice that I do this little U right here under your eyes, but you notice I didn't do that. The reason I don't do that is because it's harder for me to do just these lines on your email, so I just do this. But I don't like to put this brightening highlight here. I don't want to put a ton of product in this area where I have wrinkles. I will blend it there, but if I put the product, if I drag this product here, because I'm 48 years old, if I drag this product here, I'm gonna have a lot of cakiness under here, and I don't want that. So I'll show you how to blend that in just a second. The other thing I like to do with my brightening highlight, which is the lighter of the two that you have, is I like to put some here, a little bit here, and then I just take, you can use your brush and just do a line down the center of your nose, or take your finger and just do a little line right down the center of your nose. I do bring that up just a little bit. Okay, so that is our brightening highlight. So that is the lighter of the two highlights. Next, we're going to get into your main highlight. Okay, so that's the one that's going to be closest to your skin tone. It's going to be something on my shirt. It's going to be the darker of the two, the one that's, again, going to be closest to your skin tone. So you're going to take that bunny tail end of your 3D brush and you're going to tap. You don't want to swipe in there. You're going to get too much product. And the one thing that I hear the most when people first start out, and I was one of them, is the makeup's too cakey. It's caking up in my lines. It doesn't look right. And it's because you're using too much product. I hate to say that, but that's what it is. It's what I did in the beginning as well. I was using entirely too much product. This cream foundation does not take a lot. So just remember, less is more. And so we've already stamped in there. I'm not going to do it again, but you stamped in here. And then you're just going to stamp this on your face. You're going to stamp it right here along your beard area, along your mustache area. Right here, I can tell you I already have too much product there, but it's okay. If you get too much, it's okay. We'll blend it all out. But I'm also, if you notice, I'm not covering every pore on my face, okay? So we've applied some here on the mustache area, the beard area. So if you've gotten your color match and you've seen those emails with all the colored orange, brown, and yellow lines, I hope it's making sense now. And then I do this triangle of light right here, kind of an arch. So the middle of my brow up and then back down. So again, notice we're not covering everything, but we're going to blend it out. So this is made to feel like a second skin. It's going to be very, very light on your face. It's not going to be thick and cakey unless you've applied, like glopped it on too much. But now it's time to blend. So take that same brush, 3D brush, the bunny tail end. There is no right or wrong way as far as the order of blending, but I like to start with my eyes, that lighter color, and I'm just pressing. See how I'm doing this? Kind of like this, on sweeping or pressing this color in. This is actually, when I do this on my eye, it's helping serve as a primer for my eyeshadow. Definitely under here, I'm just stamping. I'm bouncing this back and forth because, again, I don't want a ton of product under here, but I'm trying to just brighten up my eye. So if you notice, here was the same. I didn't put any product over here, but look how I've blended that together. It is beautiful. So we're doing the same thing on this eye. We're just going to bounce that color around. And then I come down here and I just start blending. So I'm just bouncing. I don't with this brush. Again, there is a whole nother video on brushes, and there is a brush that I will just keep on here and I will sweep back and forth. This is not that brush. This brush just gives a nice airbrushed medium look, whereas the other brush that I sweep with gives a really full coverage brush. So I'm just bouncing this around, blending these colors. I do skip my contour on my cheeks, and I do that last, and I'll show you why, or I'll tell you why. The reason I do that is because I feel like if I go ahead and blend that in now, I actually end up blending it away. So, and I don't want to do that, but I will tell you that that is a very common thing to do in the beginning, so don't panic. Don't panic if you start blending and you're like, oh, I blended all my contour away. It does take some time to get used to. So up here on my forehead, I'm going to grab this lighter color and I'm pressing back all towards my hairline. So I'm just pressing these colors, blending these out. Isn't this amazing? Now, if I wanted a more full coverage, I definitely could use a different brush and get a more full coverage and cover up all of my freckles if I wanted to. But I love my freckles, so I'm not going to, I don't typically try to completely cover them up. So that's just freckles. It's just part of who I am. And especially in the summer, which is now, which I'm out in the sun a lot. So they're really, really, really showing. So we're just blending all of that in. On your jawline, you do want to kind of sweep this back and forth and drag this down. So you're creating just like a natural looking shadow, but I like to drag that color down so it's blending everything together really nice. On my nose, I just like to stamp that in. I'm just stamping that color right where I put it because I want to leave that bright color right down the center of my nose. Again, whole other thing, if you don't want to do nose contour, that's totally fine. Just use your main shade and your main highlight and do that. But that's just how I do my nose contour. Then on your cheeks, your contouring cheeks, just kind of press up lightly. You don't want to really press hard and sweep it up, but you just want to press lightly because we're going to add some blush, or what we call our lip and cheek. And the reason we call it lip and cheek is because all of our lip and cheek colors can be used on your lips as well as your cheeks, and even your eyes if you wanted to do an eyeshadow look. So I'm gonna be using Plum. This is one of my favorites, absolutely gorgeous shade. I'm gonna be using Plum. You can use that 3D brush and you can stamp it in here and then stamp it just right above your contour, or just grab it with your finger. I like to do that for this and tap it in right where you want it and then just lightly press down. Again, we have a brush for blush, but if you just have the 3D brush, you can most definitely just use the 3D brush. The 3D brush is all I used for the first couple of months, and then I started next with the detail and then the full coverage brush because I thought I wanted a full coverage look, but I was so impressed with the coverage that I was getting with Saint that I didn't need that. I'm going to add a little bit more. So keep in mind also that the makeup is buildable. So if you notice like you want to add a little bit more, you most definitely can. And then if you wanted to, if that's the only 4 colors that you have and you wanted to put Plum on your eyes, you definitely could. I'm actually not going to today. I'm going to do something different with my eyes a little bit later. But you could definitely use that color for your eyes. You could use that color for your lips. Everything you have or need is right in this palette. Again, I will do another video on bronzer and illuminators at another time. But I do want to show you that's not black cherry. I want to show you black cherry really quick because this one, let me pop this out. This looks really scary in the tin. It's really dark. It's dark on the website. It is a very, very dark shade. But look how beautiful this is. This is a very pretty berry color, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a gorgeous gloss for lips. So that is how you would do the basic, what we call a hack, highlight and contour, just using your, pop that back in there, your main shades here. So again, contour, your main highlight, which is going to be like your foundation color, closest to your skin. Your brightening highlight is going to be the one that's going to be like concealer that's helping brighten your face up in like under your eyes. Mainly is kind of where we typically put that, and I do again down the center of my face. If you have any questions once you get your order, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm here to help you. I want you to love this as much as I love it because it's absolutely been a game changer for me in getting ready. But don't hesitate to reach out to me, ask any questions. I will be doing some different videos on eyeshadows. If you've ordered eyeshadows or eyeshadow combinations and you're just like, Tara, help me, I don't know where to put these eyeshadows and how to create the looks that you've created, let me know and I will definitely do a video for you. So I hope that helps, and I will see you ladies later doing other videos. Bye.